Starting this week, I'll be adding a new segment to my page. It's called G Brown's Kitchen. And I will be your host. And each week I'll be preparing something that I purchase here locally, ingredients that I get either at the market or Big C or Macro. And I bring those items home and I cook them up. Now, I want to warn you, I'm not a chef. I'm just somebody that enjoys cooking. I find it therapeutic. I also enjoy good food. And so I eat mostly Western food here in Pattaya, Thailand, but I'm using 100% Thai ingredients in doing so. So hopefully what I can demonstrate here is if you're thinking about moving to Thailand or visiting Thailand, you'll be able to see that you can eat a lot of the same foods that you eat at home right here in Pattaya, Thailand. Tonight on the menu is Mexican food. I've been wanting and having a taste for some Mexican food all week, so tonight I'm gonna make some chicken fajitas. I'm gonna make some pico de gallo, a little bit of guacamole, and have a traditional Mexican style meal tonight. Oh, also gonna make some refried beans. So this is what we're working with this evening. Got some onions, some peppers, some cilantro, some scallions, fresh avocado, got some cheese, and my veggies, I've got some bell peppers, onion, and tomatoes, a couple of chicken breasts. I've got some canned beans here, and I'm gonna be using some corn tortillas here and coming up with a nice quick Mexican meal this evening. We're gonna get everything prepped here. I'm gonna start out here with my corn tortillas. Just gonna open those up. And I'm gonna make some nachos out of these. I have made my own tortillas from scratch because when I first got here, I didn't know where to find corn tortillas. But that is very labor intensive. And so now that I've got some corn tortillas, I'm gonna do it the quick way. I'm gonna cut these into wedges and then I'm going to just merely deep fry them. Okay, so I got the grease nice and hot. Portable fan here, let's not smoke up the kitchen. And I'm just gonna pop these in. Move into a dish. One paper towel, soak up some of the grease. So here are our corn tortilla chips. Nice and crunchy. So now I'm just grating some cheese. Always use block cheese, fresh grated if you can. Next, I'm gonna prep the vegetables for the fajitas. I'm gonna use some red, yellow, and green peppers. Clean out the veins. You don't absolutely have to, but I think they're better that way. And then we're just gonna cut them into strips. Now we slice some onion. Cut it in half. And then we put it into. Now we're gonna go in with some red chilies and some green chilies. I always wear a plastic glove when handling chilies. If you ever had those chilies rub off on your fingers and then happen to wipe your face or your eyes, you'll know exactly why it is, and I'm wearing these gloves. So this is what our prep veggies look like, our red, yellow, and green bell peppers, some onion, and some red and green chilies. Next, we're gonna make some guac. I like to take them and cut them into long strips, much like you peel a mango. And then that way you can just pop them right out of the skins. Got that cut up. Now we're just gonna juice a lime. Dash of salt. Some crushed black pepper. Throw in a couple of these chilies. And we'll give that a little. So that's what the guacamole looks like. I like it a little bit chunky. Now I'm gonna make some pico de gallo / salsa. Start out with some onions. Dice up these. So we've got our onions diced. We're gonna go in with some cilantro now. And always use the stems. Oftentimes people will throw the stems out, but the reality is that most of the nutritional value is in the stem, in addition to the flavor. Not the big ones, the small ones. Now we're gonna dice our tomatoes. I picked them out so that they're a little firm. So I'm gonna use the rest of my chili peppers and add it to my pico de gallo. Also add some nice color to your dishes. Now we're gonna add some lime juice to the mix. A little salt, a little black pepper, I like a little white pepper, and then we'll just give this, get everything nice and mixed up. Since I had a large amount of tomatoes left over, I ended up making small bowl of pico de gallo, and then I made some salsa because I got the chips. I think that's going to go nicely. Time to prep the chicken. So we got a couple of fresh chicken breasts here. Always wear gloves when handling my chicken. Very handy to keep a box of gloves in the kitchen. And I'm just going to cut this breast in half so that it'll fry a little more evenly than if it was just one large fat chicken breast. So now we're going to season our chicken. Little pink Himalayan sea salt, crushed black pepper, little chili powder. A little white pepper. A bit of garlic powder. And we're going to add a little bit of smoked paprika. And a little bit of ground cumin. Give that a little rub in. I'm going to add this back to the bowl. And let it just sit in those spices. One of my favorite Mexican dishes is refried beans. So tonight I'm going to make mine from scratch. Well, not completely from scratch because I am going to use canned beans, but I do wash them thoroughly so that the juice that's on the beans is not in them. Okay, and I'm just going to fry them as is. So I've got some oil that is about hot. Add my beans. You want to continue moving these around so that they don't burn. And I did reserve some of the liquid from the beans. You want these cooked down until they're soft enough to mash. So here are the refried beans. Came out nice and creamy. Last but not least, we're cooking our chicken breast. So this is what that grilled chicken looks like. So we'll let that chicken breathe for a minute, let it cool down before I cut it. So in this same skillet, now we're going to saute the vegetables. And that's what those sauteed vegetables look like. Nice, and onions are translucent now, so you know they're ready.
And here's our finished product. Follow and subscribe for more meals like this.